Alright, hello. Welcome to Lucky Dog Adventures. And we will start this live stream on Roblox. Because I started this series about the RMS Titanic with this game, so we will make a rundown through it again and see if I can try to survive myself on this great ocean liner. Make sure everything's going good. I'm on stream. Yeah, I need to double check everything before we get started. Make sure my thing's doing right. Live stream on Roblox. Yes. Okay, I'm sort of late, but it'll be okay though. But the Titanic in reality would already be sinking at this point, because the time zone that it was in is an hour ahead of Eastern time. But I wanted to do my not little, but sort of major. Wanted to do my live stream during Eastern time zone hours, because that's where most of my subscribers are. So we will board the ship here and take a look at it. Now, this is not the only game I will be playing on tonight. There will be several others, but we'll just begin with this one. And of course, this is the reception room, D-deck reception room. This map doesn't include the first class dining saloon, just the reception room. But that'll be alright though. Let's make our way up the grand staircase. Now we are on C deck, then B deck, and finally A deck. Then you have boat deck. That's where your fun outside views are at. Anyways, of course, we have our ship getting ready to leave Southampton. After this game concludes, I will go to a game called Project 401. It's built by, created by the team at Titanic Honor and Glory. Their ship is 1,000 more times D-ton than this one is, but this one is still decent. It has everything that you would want. Well, most of everything. There's some rooms that are missing, but it'll be alright. Alright. There we go. I'm just sitting here waiting on the debarkation. Well, not debarkation, but waiting on the ship to leave port. Now, I've never thought of this, but I wonder if the port side of the ship is called that due to this side being on the port 90% of the time. But it's not always the case, is it? It's just kind of a weird thought. Because you know, modern ships can orient themselves however they need to, but there had to be some way for the port side of the ship to get its name. I'm not ready to go inside yet, because we have a lot of things to see out here. So you can see the boilers starting to light up. That smoke there is coming out of the Titanic, not the tugboats. I have a feeling we might need these later. Who knows? There we go. Now, sorry to disappoint, but I'm not doing like a live stream of the ship sinking itself. I will leave that to the professionals over there at Team Honor and Glory. They're doing that currently right now, so if you want to see that, go click over there. I highly recommend it. No, I won't be mad if you leave this stream and go watch that one. We are all doing the same thing, so I don't. Just like New Year's Day, like you got different places doing all the same exact thing. It doesn't matter which one you watch, because our goal is all the same thing. Just sort of commemorate the Titanic today or tonight, really. This is just what I'm doing here in my corner of the shipping world. But you will get to see the Titanic sink on this stream too. It just won't be matched up with the real live stream going on by the professional folks doing that on their stream. I'll give you a hint, I am watching that stream over here on my desk, but they're doing a really good job. All my favorite people are on there from YouTube. And they're doing their live stream from the Queen Mary, which is honestly badass. But I'm just doing this from obviously my little studio den here. But I myself will be on a real ship in 51 days, so I'm not too jealous. Now I have lots of filming to do on that ship for the channel. Because eventually I want this channel to grow into like a cruising vlog type channel. But of course, we can't just rush into that immediately. We have to start with the history of everything. Now, let's get on with my stream here. What we are doing in my corner is watching the Titanic leave Southampton. So that brings me down to this level, for some iconic goodbye waves to the Southampton dock. Now let's climb back up to first class. Whoa. That is a game, so bear with me about the physics. There we are. Now you'll see these lifeboats that block off the view to the ocean, and that's why you have this space without any lifeboats in the middle. But that proved to be a horrible mistake. Just look at all this open deck space right here to put to add additional lifeboats. And we are passing another steamship. And it's an ocean liner, of course, but way smaller than the Titanic, of course. It's the SS City of New York. Something doesn't sound too good over there. Whoa, that's close. Whoa. Alright now. Wow. Let me put you at a viewing platform while I check something. There we go. Yeah, I guess that would be a good idea. Let me adjust something for you, because I want to show you something here. See, I have my Lucky Dog Adventures hat right here. I just recently ordered it, so I look sort of official now. But while I have that screen blown up, wanted to read out of a book for you as we're selling. So it's kind of dusty. Way to work. See, it's a book by Ken Marshall. It's Inside the Titanic. It's full of pictures and stuff. I guess we can read out of this book here as the Titanic goes on. Well, maybe not quite yet. We'll do this in the next portion of the video. Be ready for a book reading, because you don't see that on any of these live streams. But I'll do that on the next portion. We need to do the rundown of SOS Titanic here by Maritime Interactive and see if I can survive the sinking. Now, this is by no means a real-time sinking. It happens in about 15 or so minutes. For the sake of gameplay, so it's not super accurate according to time. The only thing accurate is the hours that I've started my live stream and the hours that I'm running through it. Let's see, what am I doing? Make our way down the staircase. Well, you know something, first class has functional elevators. So we'll try to use them real quick. If I can find where, there we are. I want to go all the way to the bottom of the ship. Because, you know, even 100 years ago they had poles on ships. I want to show you where that is. And as the ship floods, I really want to use this elevator again, if the game allows it to, just to watch the water just rush into the elevator. Yeah, we're going very deep into the bowels of the ship. There we are, E-deck. There's some classic corridors that you always see of the Titanic. But we have a further way to go down to get to the pool. It's down here on F deck. And there we go. Now the Titanic has a indoor pool, which is really cool. But of course, it's sort of dated compared to a modern cruise ship. About 5 feet, a little under 5 feet deep of water. And this pool sits right on top of a boiler casing, so you don't have to worry about that water being that specific body of water being cold. Now outside of that wall, that's a different story, but in here, you're good to go. Of course, changing stalls and all that good stuff. Yeah, that's the entrance to the Turkish baths, but I'm not going in there. Not on this, not right now anyways. Well, let's go back up onto one deck. Now you have the bottom of the common areas where the passengers would normally be at, but behind this door, there should be a door here, but it doesn't show it. But anyways, it's the entrance to this long corridor that connects the whole end to end of bow to stern of the Titanic. This corridor connects all of it, and this technology is still used to this day. You have long corridors in the center of these massive ships for crew to get around easily. And it's called Scotland Road because, well, I'm not sure specifically the reason, but the Titanic was built in Belfast, Ireland. So the Titanic was built by Irish hands, but owned by a British company, White Star Line. There's some more corridors. I believe that goes down to the mail room. Yeah, this is the mail room. See, this is where you come up with the name Royal Mail Steamer. Steamer because the Titanic burns coal and creates steam for engine propulsion. But the Royal Mail is stored, well, some of it is stored right here in this, I guess a file cabinet sort of thing. But you have just another one right there and just bags of mail, tons of bags. There should be a lot more in here, but they saved they saved lag on the game by just putting a few here. This right here is a elevator. It would have a chain inside to lift these heavy bags of mail down to the mail room from the top deck, close to the forecastle. Sun is setting. Titanic sees daylight for the last time. Okay, we need to see that. I can make our way up, if I can make my way up there in time. So this is a fairly large ship. Guess we could run up the grand staircase real quick. Okay, I see sun rays coming out. That's pretty. Yeah, there we go. Look at that. Want to go up one more deck. Come on. Hurry, hurry. Let's go do something magical while we still have daylight. Hurry, hurry, hurry. I don't have to say it, you know what I'm thinking. Anyways, it's getting too cold to do that any longer, so let's go inside. Very chilly. Now, I don't include this. I don't count this live stream for a episode for my Titanic series. That's just a separate entity from this. This is just a, this is a stream that pretty much every ship lover on YouTube does once a year. On April 14th and now the 15th. Here's the ship's band, which I can't hear their instruments, but I'm sort of thankful for that for the time being. Because, you know how that gets. It can be kind of annoying. In a little while, I'll be able to open those with a crew member key. Now let's go below deck again and towards the bow of the ship, which is the front, which will be that way. Yeah. Now these doors that don't go all the way to the floor, those are the entrances to the boiler rooms and the engine casing. There's some third class accommodations. Whoa. Alright. Anyways, I wanted to show you this map on the live stream here. Now focus on my white dot right here. You can see I'm circling the word Atlantic Ocean with it. Now follow this line right here. That is the Titanic's intended route to New York. So you got Queenstown, Southampton, then the Atlantic Ocean. But what's wild is the Titanic only made it somewhere in there, close to Newfoundland, Canada. But we all know how it goes. And all these other lines they're intentional. They're supposed to be on here. Those represent other White Star ocean liners on their routes. But this isn't a modern television screen by no means. It just has sliders that move along the lines. But these lines that's all they are. They're not accurate to where exactly their ships are, but that's the route that they're supposed to take. For example, you might have a ship that would sort of veer off a little bit, but you can see it would still follow the route to its destination. An iceberg is spotted in the distance. Well, it's time to go above deck. Now tell me if you could see an iceberg, because I definitely cannot. I mean, yes, the Titanic had lots of human error in it, but you can't blame them on some of this. Let's check this out. All you see is a night full of stars. Then bam, a mountain of ice is the ship is heading straight for that, right down the middle of it. And if this doesn't turn, the first 3 compartments will be turned into an accordion. Hang on a second. Alright, there we go. Yeah, look at that. Titanic couldn't steer clear of the iceberg and strikes it on the starboard side. Look at all this chaos going on. Ice just thrown around everywhere. This is just a soft layer of snow from the outside layer of the iceberg. Well, within that is a solid blue layer of ice that's as hard as concrete. But yeah. That just happened. Alright. Let's go below deck to investigate the damage. Yeah. This is like accordion. Alright, how you doing? Look at all this chaos. I had to make sure my stream is still going good. Alright, whoa. Yeah, let's go investigate the damage to the ship. Guess we could start in the mail room. Maybe down here. Everything looks fine so far. I don't see anything. That way's fine. Yeah, you can go towards the bow of the ship. Get below the water line, see if there's anything going on. Moving deeper. That looks fine so far. I don't see anything. Let's keep making our way down. I hear something, but I can't find it. Let's go back up. Here we go. Maybe in here. Wrong way. Oh wow, there's water in the mailroom here. The first, it's not public space, but it's not the boiler room either, which we already know the boiler room is directly taking on water from the Atlantic Ocean. So yeah, we have flooding going on. Let's see. Guess we could pop that into full screen. Whoa, better get to moving. Now this water is brutally cold. It should feel something like 1,000 knives stabbing at you all at one time. So let's not spend too much time in the water and start closing the bulkheads. Alright, so you see this is a game, so you get rewards for accomplishments. Now this sort of may feel like a repeat of episode 1 of my RMS Titanic series, but I promise you it's not. I'm just beginning with this game here. is this lets you see the interior of the ship as it falls apart. That's something I really wanted to begin with. Need to go to E deck, back to E deck. So that's where the bulkheads are. Oh, that's E deck. D deck. No, yeah, this is E deck. Okay. So, where do I need to go? We'll just start closing random doors. See, look at that water, it's coming up fast. Just want to make sure I don't trap myself in these compartments without a way out of the ship. Okay, that was closed. That doesn't help at all, open portholes. There's the forecastle part of the ship. See if we can see if there's an angle in the ship yet. Nah, still looks fine. This would be what provides false hope and people just not wanting to get off lifeboats. Because compare that warm looking lit space to this, hold on. Alright. Yeah, that warm fire lit space compared to this these lifeboats up here with just open tops. No protection from the weather. That's why so many people were reluctant to get on them at first. Yeah, we can't start the launching process yet. Which, in modern times, crew would already be jumping on the, not jumping on the lifeboats, but they would be jumping to their stations very quickly to get those lifeboats ready to load full of passengers. And the ship's band has moved to the top of the staircase to try to get passengers calm down, simmer down as they're making their way up to the lifeboats. At this time, they're being told to put on their life jackets and go to the boat deck. And don't be the last one up there. But yeah, there's no people on this map because I purchased a private server. Because in this game, the way people dress is just, it doesn't match the scenery whatsoever. I'll just put it that way. And it's not professional by any means. Which I'm not professional, but I don't need a neon Japanese dragon flying through the first class smoking room. That just doesn't make sense. That's where we are, by the way. I could stare at these carvings all day, but we have some surviving to try to do. I'll show you some wood carvings in the next portion of the video, which will blow you away. I mean, yeah, these are pretty, but the Titanic Project 401 makes this look like clay, like just makes it look like it's made out of clay. So, let's see what's going on the boat deck. fairly calm still. Just the normal machinery running. Nothing frantic yet. The boilers are venting steam, but that's about it at the moment. I mean, in real life, it's 20 times louder than that, but I wanted you to be able to hear me as I'm narrating this chaos. Anyways, let's go back to the bowels of the ship. There's nothing's going on really on the moat deck. Move to the bottom. There we go. That looks better. Either to adjust my background. Oops. Uh-oh, what do we have here? Let's try that again. Okay, I missed something really cool. I want to try that again. Sorry, I'm getting a little bit distracted. But I'll make a run for that again. Alright, there we go. Let's pretend like we are a frantic woman trying to save someone below the ship that is chained to a pipe. We're stealing the heart of the ocean, potentially. So yeah, let's go check that out. Go all the way to the bottom of the ship. Work this way down, sort of. On a sinking ship, never ever get an elevator. That is the worst. Ship on fire. That is the worst thing you could possibly do. Is an elevator that you just signed a death wish if you get an elevator. Here's a good example why. Now that is absurd. See, I can't stand the water for too long. So I just made a horrible mistake. I put my head underwater. I gotta get out of here. Man. Ooh, that was cold. But you see why the getting in the elevator on a sinking ship is just a horrible, horrible idea. Yeah, barely. All because I've decided to get in the elevator. Now I wonder if I can launch the lifeboats yet, because I believe it's about time to start launching lifeboats. As you see, there's clearly water in the ship. Yeah. Let's see how many we can launch. Let's change off. Now I'm going to use this lifeboat. This is the one that I will prepare for myself. Because you know something, I mean, I gotta be able to live to narrate the sinking. Now we'll stop lowering, because I'm not ready to launch it quite yet. Alright, anyways. Yeah, I'm not sure how to operate that. It says press E, but I'm pressing E, then you have this weird thing come up. It's obviously the David, but I don't know what else it wants me to do with it. So these probably won't get launched until I learn how to do that. But that won't be today, because I don't want to hold up your time too much. Maybe I'll get lucky and try to figure it out. I only know how to launch the collapsibles up front, so we'll just go with those. I mean, I can prepare these lifeboats, but that's as far as I know how to go with it since the game has updated in the recent years. So if anyone knows how to crank these davits using PC or Xbox, let me know. So not for the life of me, I do not know where I figured it out. See, I'm pressing E, but nothing happens. Yeah, I don't know how to operate it. Oh, that's the gym, by the way. Look at this. This is one of my favorite pictures in this map. The internal workings of the Titanic and the Olympic. Yes, largest steamers. There's three sister ships identical to the Titanic, with the Titanic, of course, being one of them. Alright. It's getting dark. Let's make our way down and see how much flooding is progressed. Oh wow. The reception room is having a horrible time right now. This was one of the scenes for a shootout in the James Cameron movie, Titanic. Maybe we can slosh around in here to try to relive that moment. I'll have to go underwater. Notice these lights going out. Wow. You hear the ship creaking too. Try to stay in here as long as possible. It is really cool to look at, to be honest. With that being said, I don't have a God mode in this game, so I can't stay down here too long. But you can see how quickly that room is going under. It's not even visible anymore. See the water swirling up the staircase here? Man. Sort of gloomy, creepy in a way. Just flooding in this corridor. You see the fog coming off of the water? Shows you how cold it is. And the water has a greenish tint to it in real life. The North Atlantic Ocean. Because it's not just clear swimming pool water like it shows in the movie. Like, it's not dirty by any means, it's just the salt in the water that makes it kind of this greenish color. It's that fog rolling off of it. That is cold, cold water. Let me see something real quick while we watch the grand staircase flood here. Okay, so yeah, we're about in the real time of the real ship here. Well, not the real ship, but this scene right here with the staircase flooding on, what deck is this? Oh, it's C deck. Yeah, I'm about, same. This right here is almost lined up with the Honor and Glory live stream. They're a little further than this, I think, but this is almost where they're at. Now, of course, they're professionals. They've been doing this for years, but this is my first time ever doing it. Oh, yeah, you hear the creaking and straining of the hull there. But yeah, this is my first year doing this. So, of course, the sinking is going to go a lot quicker because of the. This game doesn't have the option for the real-time sinking anymore, unfortunately. So this game will go a little faster, but I have other ones that I'm going to introduce to you after this game concludes. Managed to stay alive so far. Well, for now. I need to check on my lifeboat. That is horrifying, to be honest. Like, that is the sound of a ship literally ceasing to exist. Can't say the other word because I don't want to get flagged here on YouTube, but you know where I'm going with it. But I'm gonna prepare a distress rocket. Yeah, honestly, I'm lined up for the Honor and Glory sinking right now, just for a moment, just momentarily. Mine will proceed to go a little faster than theirs here in a minute, but wow, just take that in, just for a few minutes. I'd say I'm doing pretty good for my first sinking live stream. Alright, let me walk over to the, or jump over to the bow of the ship. So let me zoom into this angle right here. Don't want to get in that water, but there. I want to see that front railing go underwater on the bow. That's as close as I can zoom in for you. But watch the very tip of the bow dip under. Yeah, Honor and Glory is showing a bathroom being flooded right now. It's kind of comical. That's wild. Man. Okay, I need to prepare this lifeboat here for me. Lower away. Now I don't want to lose it, so I'm just going to put it close to the water line, but not all the way to it. Because these boats will drift off, and if I don't have a boat available, it's not good. Let's just say I won't be able to narrate the this portion of the live stream. Now while I'm at the station, maybe I can try to figure this davit crank out. So go clockwise with it. How? I don't get it. You don't. Yeah, the mechanics have changed so much. It's leaving me behind. Wow. Do you hear the straining of the ship? I think I lost my lifeboat on the port side. Let's go check it. Well, that lifeboat's a goner. If I'm gonna survive, I better just go ahead and jump in. One more rocket. I'm gonna have to do something stupid here for a second. But I need to release the davit. Hurry, hurry. There we go, it's released. Crazy decision. Alright, sit down. I'm going in third person camera here because that's the best way I can show you this without ceasing to exist. Hold on. Need to turn the camera sensitivity down. Way down. What are you doing? I'm not sure what my avatar is doing, but he needs to sit down. I'm not very familiar with the controls of this game, so because they've completely rewrote the game, to be honest. But I'll leave it at this frame right here. So I want y'all to watch. There we go. That's the best thing I can give you for the time being. Well, leave that there for you for a minute. And the first funnel just collapsed. I'm going to go to another part of the ship here. Oh, it's too late. There we go. Come on. Work with me. Perfect. Watch this. The grand staircase dome just imploded. That's all underwater. Notice the smokestack right here. gonna give any second. Oh, it's straining. The Titanic is making her final plunge at this point. This smokestack should fall over any second. The power just went out. See the deck chairs falling off. And that stack finally gives way. And the most horrifying part of the sinking. There's an insane cross-section of the ship. And of course, the rest of the funnels collapsed. And unfortunately, I wasn't able to launch the lifeboats because I honestly don't know how anymore. I used to be really good at this game, but the controls have changed so much that I wasn't too sure about it, as you see. Now, it wasn't a lifeboat, so I'm pretty sure I made it, but might be going to a cutscene or something. Might have got pulled under, who knows. What is going on? I'm not. Okay, I'm not sure if I made it or not, so we'll click out of that and go to another piece of amazing artwork. It's presented by the team itself, of course. There's my channel tag or logo, so don't need that. So remember, come to my channel and like and subscribe for some laid back content related to ships and various adventures related to that. Okay, so here we go. This is the more professional portion of the video. This part won't be sinking, I'm just walking around the ship. Anyways, welcome aboard the final update of Demo 401. At 50% of the grandest ship ever built, she is certainly our largest and most detailed Titanic recreation to date. We are proud to release this massive accomplishment for free as yet another thank you to a fan base that has supported us through thick and thin, to say the least. Through it all, our mission has stayed constant to bring our community the greatest virtual Titanic recreations ever built. We are proud to now pursue this mission in not one but 2 projects. Okay, so go to Patreon to check out more progress of the Titanic and the Olympic. And of course, this is the 113th anniversary of the sinking of the RMS Titanic. So we will continue. Well, gotta start with first class. Let's get on. Well, in real time for the Titanic, it is The bow is just went underwater. This is according to the stream from Titanic Honor and Glory, their team doing the live stream. The bow has just went underwater. Of course, I can't show you that video for copyright, obviously, but I can tell you what's going on. And their stream is according to exactly what's going on right at this very moment, 113 years ago. So, and of course, I will link that video in the description somewhere in my video. Just let me know if you're interested. Anyways, this is a more calm. This is a more calmer portion of the video. Probably my favorite. So this is the first class entrance. Smoking is in the companionways is strictly forbidden. Well, don't blame me there, because look at all this amazing artwork. So you can just stare at this woodwork for hours. There's iron lattice and gold. Titanic really was a luxurious ship. The Titanic reminds me of being in an old cathedral in like Key West or somewhere like that, in a way, just with all the wood carving and stuff. I really don't want to rush through this because just look at the amount of detail just everywhere. That is blindingly bright. Ugh. So, this is very iconic in many ways. Of course, the game here is called Titanic Honor and Glory. That's named after this piece of artwork right here. Of course, there's a clock in the center. But you'll see two figures here. One represents honor, the other one represents glory. And also, this piece of wood is the so-called door frame that Rose happened to survive the shipwreck on. It's wild how that ended up way out there somewhere. Well, maybe not. Maybe that's not too crazy to think about. I mean, this is wood, and we all know this caved in. So it probably just floated up through the dome of the glass not being there anymore. Now here's the boat deck. Let's make our way out here. Look how beautiful. Now there will be a lot of loading screens in this, unfortunately, but you can see it's worth it for the amount of just immaculate detail in this. This should load up any second. And here we are. You can get out of the dark area there. Shadowy area. Look at that ocean. Man, this is honestly the most beautiful Titanic game that there is. Turn the volume up a little bit. I want you to get the full vibe of the Titanic. Not that much. Now you have deck chairs here, but you can't just sit down in any of them as you please. You have to rent them for the day. And I think that's sort of a really good idea. Maybe we should go back to that. is, if you've ever been on a cruise ship, you know how the lounge chairs work on the top deck. You just throw a towel on there, call it a day, and you know that irritates the hell out of people. So imagine if you had to rent a chair for the day. Like that'd be. I think that's something we should bring back, just to help with the chaos of that. Notice passengers are not allowed to be on this point. Well, today I'm not a passenger. I am a guy filming Titanic's 113th anniversary out of my little studio here. Well, it's going to bring us to another loading screen, so we'll turn around. Alright. Trying to understand how this davit works. I mean, I know the simple concept of it, but I'm trying to help myself with that other game, just looking at the mechanisms of it. So all it does is just fold the davit over. It doesn't lower the ropes. The ropes you have to do manually. That's why I tied around that capstan there. I have to pick it up and do it manually. This just folds the davits over. Of course, there's a bar that would go on, an attachment that would go on there to actually give you a handle to crank it. Notice passengers are not allowed forward of this. That's because that is where Captain Smith would be staying at. Those are his quarters. Let's go back up. Look at the view of the ocean that way. Beautiful. Now this is a compass tower. The reason that the compass is sort of lifted up is, you know, a compass is based on magnetic force fields, and the iron hull of the ship throws it off. That's why it's elevated sort of away from the deck. There are several compasses in the ship to make sure that they are all accurate within each other. Let's go back in. Now on the real live stream, the bridge just caved in and went underwater. It appears that all lifeboats have been launched by this point in real life. So whoever's left on the ship, rest in peace, to be honest. Here we are back into the first class accommodations. I want to take you down to one of my favorite rooms in the ship. Down on E deck, I believe. D or E deck. Of course, there's several staterooms on A and B deck. Also C deck here. I'm going to find one that's very interesting in a way. If you've ever seen the Titanic movie, I'm sure you'll have a general idea of which cabin I want to try to find. Here's the first class dining saloon. It's during the daytime hours, so it's going to appear as it did on the April 14th Sunday morning scene on the movie. This is the biggest or largest public accommodation in the ship. I want to stand over here at this wall and stare at the other wall for a second just to see how long and how wide the beam is of the ship. That's honestly impressive. I mean, that would compete with some of today's ships. You'll notice there's these stained glass coverings for these portholes. See, the way the view is beautiful, so that's why I believe that one was opened. Just look at the detail. You can see the bottom of the stained glass, each individual tile. Now there's a certain table over here. Yeah, it's definitely this one. But if we sit here, we can listen to Rose's mother, Ruth, scold us for not using proper dining etiquette, and just be completely ashamed of our existence and try to jump off the back of the ship. Alright, well, let me read this for you for a second from the real live stream. While survivor accounts place these men at many locations of Titanic's final moments, it is likely that Captain Smith and Thomas Andrews went missing after the bridge goes under. Oh man, and the ship just rolled over to an even keel. Titanic takes an unexpected plunge, and those working on the final two collapsible boats are washed away. The boat just rolled over to an even keel, and every time I see that, that makes me seasick. Just from the way it does it. Ooh. And according to Titanic ship's time right now, it's 2:15 a.m. Of course, Eastern time, it's 13:14 a.m. But of course, where the Titanic sank at, it's an hour ahead of time of where I'm currently at. And the ship is losing power currently at this time. The lights are starting to glow this. They don't have this white glow to them anymore. It's this reddish, pinkish sort of hue to them. And the props are coming out of the water. The Titanic at this time is approaching its final plunge. This is all going on while I'm touring the Titanic here. I'm just letting you know what's going on and what would be going on in this exact moment 113 years ago. And right now, furniture is rolling down towards the front of the ship. Anything that's not tied down just falls to the front. Oh yeah, these round tiles, the white portions of the tiles are still on the shipwreck today. The black portions, they're made out of a different material, so they didn't last throughout the not the sinking itself, just the deterioration of the ship. The back part of the tiles, they didn't survive, but the white tiles, they're there. They lasted somehow. Right now, 113 years ago, the first smokestack funnel collapses, killing anyone unlucky enough to be under it. And that is a scary sight right there. You'll notice I'm looking at this other screen here. That's the notice that watching the live stream of Titanic Honor and Glory play out. And at this moment, exactly 113 years ago, the ship is splitting apart between about 2 feet forward of the third funnel. And it's just a chaotic scene right now. The stern comes back down. It just sort of sits there and bobs. Within viewing distance of the iceberg that's sinking, that is the creepiest part about the whole sinking. The thing that, like, every time there's a shot of the iceberg within viewing distance of the ship sinking itself, it gives us sort of this feel that a killer is watching the end of its prey in a way. It's just kind of creepy to look at. The iceberg just floating there, just not doing nothing, just sitting there being an iceberg. Now, sorry for pausing so much right now, but right now, 113 years ago is when absolute chaos is breaking out. It's 1:17 here, but Titanic ship time is 2:17 a.m. And the stern is rising into the air, slowly sinking. And the fourth funnel just kind of folds. Well, let me get something real quick. Be right back. Okay, this is perfect. I have a ship model myself. This is what it looks like right now. So my arm is the water line. It's literally, this is all you see of the ship right now. Exactly 113 years ago. And it just keeps rising almost vertical. See, the thing is almost vertical, but in reality, it's like this. But from the angle that everybody wants to see it at, it's always this angle. And it's just standing up, it's bobbing like this. As that stream goes, I'll show you exactly what is going on with the ship on the model here. It's just still standing up like this right now. It's got air pockets still in it. Of course, people are clinging onto railings for dear life and everything like that, of course. And the ship is still bobbing, so it bobs for a good few minutes. It's slowly starting to give way. The only thing holding it up is those air pockets there, and when those air pockets implode, that's when the stern finally starts going under. It's doing exactly that right now. 113 years ago, with everyone still on it, it was just like this. Of course, it is a massive piece of work of iron, so it takes a minute. And it's slowly going under the waves. Oh, hold on, it's not quite that far down yet. It's not a very fast thing for the stern. But yeah, the propellers are at the water. It's sort of going down like this right now. Let me show you. See, this is how it ends up. It started like this, but now it's just sort of doing this number. See, it go, and it's going just like that. Never to be seen again for 74 years. Now you have people drifting in the water. This is the sort of the more morbid part of the. Let me mute that. You're now in the more sort of morbid portion of the video. I'll turn it up. You can hear it. Yeah, absolute silence. Even at full volume. And right now they're holding a candlelight vigil on the Queen Mary in Long Beach, California. Because right now, 113 years ago, the Titanic washed underneath the waves. So, and right at this moment, Olympic continues at full steam towards Titanic's last known position, unaware that she's already lying at the bottom of the Atlantic. Which the thing about the RMS Olympic is, it ultimately decides to not arrive to save Titanic's passengers. That's due to the passengers would most likely be horrified by having the identical ship to the Titanic to rescue them. So that was a horrible idea. Because the ship that just sank underneath your feet and another one pulls up that looks exactly like it, you're not going to get on it. I mean, be honest with yourself. Because if this one sank, what's going to stop that other one from sinking? Now you'll notice I've turned off the music as a just sort of out of respect, because that was I did show you the exact moment the Titanic went under 113 years ago. So that's why it's kind of quiet right now. It's 1:23 Eastern time, but Titanic ship time is 2:23 in the morning. So let's go outside and look at the ocean. This is my first ever year doing a Titanic live stream, so, and of course I didn't have all my ducks in a row. My apologies for that, but I gave you the best I could for what I had. But next year I will be 20 times more prepared for this, I promise. It's loading up. There we go. Let's look at the ocean. I want to see the daytime, the sunny side of the ocean. Come on now. There we go. There we go. Just taking the ocean on the Titanic here. And now the stream is showing that there is a field device. It wasn't just one iceberg in the entire ocean that ended the Titanic. There was several others that could have hit, the ship could have hit, because it just wasn't one iceberg, as they were in an ice field and of course speeding through it. And the Carpathia, which is the ship that saved what remained of the Titanic's passengers, struggled with ice herself. So that ship is only going 15 knots due to the ice field. Anyways, I'll end this game and we'll go to another one. Perhaps go to a floating sandbox. Show you more of a forensic analysis of the ship, of the hull of the ship. But at this moment in time, the Titanic is lost. She no longer floats. This was the 113th anniversary of that very moment. Here we are. I have this model here, but it's not my favorite by no means. I want to load another Titanic. Let's see. Maybe we could go with. There we go. That's a pretty good one. Don't want to sink it yet. Don't want to make a ship. Go back. There we go. Okay, there we go. This model might not be the best one, but it does show the interiors. Just need the water density. See, it should flow right at where the edge of the fouling pan is. Turn the density down a couple notches. And gotta make this realistic, of course. I don't like this model. No offense to the creator, I mean, that's a wonderful model, but I need one with lights. And that definitely won't do. We'll try this one. Yeah, this is a pretty good one here. Now, I apologize, it doesn't show the interiors of the ship, but it will work with what we have. There we go, that's perfect. Just a night full of stars, and you'll notice a shooting star. It definitely isn't a satellite, but I mean, not this far back in history. That is definitely a shooting star. Anyways, let's begin. Now, I don't have icebergs in this game, so we will use a slice tool and pop several holes in the first 4 compartments. It's the first 5 compartments, but the last 4 of that section. And pop a hole right there too. And we'll watch the Titanic go under. Yeah, the Carpathia is on the way to the passengers of the Titanic swimming in the ocean right now. They were freezing in the ocean and doing other things that I can't say on YouTube, but you know, science. We'll leave it at that. But here's the first 4 compartments floating. Maybe we won't have it so dark to where you can see what's going on. I just wanted to show you how dark it is, or how dark it was that night. Almost to where you couldn't see your hand in front of your face, like that kind of dark. And when they seen the iceberg, it looked as if there was a patch of stars missing. So space was literally brighter than the ocean itself was that night. You might notice this background noise that I'm using. It's the Titanic's engines. It's sort of trying to put the ship to life a little bit, bring it to life, which we all know that's not possible. It's just an obsession sort of thing. These compartments are, you know, they're flooded, but with 4 compartments, the ship is fine. But there's still enough water in the ship for everyone to go ahead and take precautions for the ship to sink. Now, with it being April 15th, this is probably going to be, I know it's only my second ocean liner series or things related to ocean liners, but I'm going to be taking a long break from ocean liners and move on to cruise ships here in the next 2 months, because that's what the channel is really about. Not personally believe that's where my channel will blow up, but I had to begin at a point where I showed you why my channel is named Lucky Dog Adventures, which, as you've seen in my last long form video, I went to the UGA spring game in Athens, Georgia, which was really awesome. It's a great time, and that's where I get the Lucky Dog from. But the adventures, that comes from all the cruises that I do. And my first one that I will officially vlog for the channel will be Carnival Elation. I figured that would be fitting because it's not my first cruise. I mean, that was the first time I went on the Carnival Elation. That was my first cruise. But me returning to it this time, that will be my 4th cruise. So I will be making that the first official cruise vlog of the channel. And I do believe my next ocean liner will be the one of the Queen Marys. I'm not sure which one. I don't know, the old one or the new one. I haven't decided yet. But it will be probably in October. when I do those. I'll probably do both of them, but I'll return to ocean liners probably in September or October. Because after that, I'll be back into cruise ships again for, well, I won't spoil the surprise, but if you make it to my if you make it through my Carnival Invasion vlogs, you'll find out what ship that will be. Only 4 compartments still flooded, so no panic yet. But we all know these compartments will eventually spill over. But I'm not sure how quickly or slowly. As soon as we see water splash over into this bulkhead, it's over. The ship is going down. Let me turn the brightness up. It's not daytime, obviously, but just for the sake of my eyesight, wanted to see what I'm doing. Because in reality, it's this dark right here, and I know you can't see that either. See, we'll zoom out. And as you know, the SS California was nearby the Titanic, but this was our view of the Titanic. All they see is lights off of the horizon of the ocean. They can't tell that the ship is sinking from that angle. Not until you zoom into it. You know, what's crazy is the California could have saved the passengers on the Titanic, but the wireless operators on that ship did. Right at midnight, they just went to bed and ended their shift for the night. But only if they didn't, they could have saved so many more passengers. It's adjust something here. Need to assist the ship in flooding. There we go. Now we have 5 compartments flooding. There we go. Fill that compartment up even more. There we go, you can see the bulkheads spilling over into each other. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. The ship is doomed right here, with number 6 flooding. Totally doomed. You hear the ship straining. Let's make it a little darker again, just for visual effects. We'll go ahead and flood the bow. There we go. Flood out number 6. These bulkheads, since they don't go all the way up, they act like an ice tray when you run it underwater downhill. It's, well, sort of opposite, but the physics are working just like it would in an ice tray. Just floods one compartment into the next, into the next, into the next, eventually all the way through. Now the bow is underwater. Float out first class accommodations. Now I need to turn the lights off somehow. There we go. These lights should be out there underwater. Maybe some of these. There we go. Well, oops. Wasn't supposed to be that dark, yeah, but it'll work. Didn't mean to kill the entire power of the ship. I just need this tool. I have water spilling across the bulkheads here. Do the next one. How did that just happen? That is wild. See, that's what happens when you play these kind of games on the anniversary. Weird things like that happen. Because, see, I'm flooding with water, but the power just came back on. That was weird. Huh. Anyways. Well, since we have a second chance at making that more accurate, we'll go for it. There we go. You guys are seeing that, right? Like, that is weird. These lights will not go off. See, look at that. That's wild. Anyways, let's continue to flood the ship. Alright, now around this time the first smokestack should collapse. Sorry, I know it's kind of loud. Tools. There we go. Turn tools way down because they're way too loud. Alright. So the first smokestack is caved in. Go back to flooding. At this time, 113 years ago, the Carpathia, the RMS Carpathia, is racing its way towards Titanic's last known position. Still got a long ways to go. It won't arrive till 4 o'clock in the morning, but I will have this live stream ended by then. This is honestly the last part of it. Look at the stern coming out into their, rising into the air. Now the grand staircase should be imploding as soon as the water reaches this part. And I'll show you what that looks like. But this whole section right here is the grand staircase. You can tell that it is by these two gangway doors right here. You'll know that goes straight into the reception, E-deck reception area, or D-deck reception. That reception hall leads straight into the grand staircase. You'll notice how far the stern is into that, rising into the air. Now we have water rising over the grand staircase casing right here. It's not quite enough pressure on it yet to cave it in. It's just right here on the corner. But it's making its way there. The dome, it doesn't implode till it's completely underwater. But we should be seeing that here in a few minutes. Alright, so the dome is underwater, so it implodes. You'll see the water spilling down into it. So that's going on. We need a killer power. And collapse the second funnel. You can see the hole is straining it on itself. Ultimately breaking apart. It's crazy, those lights will not die out no matter what. And there we are. Let's see. Slash. And now we just have the stern section floating. But before I sink that, watch the bow here. Let me adjust the terrain so we can see it. There we go. We'll just pretend like that's 2.5 miles deep. Watch the bow of the ship slam him down into the silt. This is the more recognizable part of the shipwreck. There we go. There's the bow. Now, we have to sink the stern. Have to put several gashes in it. And it's slowly sinking, just like the real thing. Make it dark, of course. Had to add some realism. Alright. And the official live stream is still going. But the sinking part of it, of course, has concluded. Go ahead and collapse this funnel. That, of course, falls down with it. And there we go. That's exactly how the last funnel collapsed. It just sort of folded down into the stern, sinking with it. And there she goes. And we'll watch the stern hit the ocean floor. Of course, we'll go underwater for that. And of course, the stern is absolute chaos compared to the bow. So, we'll need to move it away from the bow of the ship. Well, need to let it float for a minute. The terrain should be exactly the same. Okay, that'll work. There we go. There's the bow of the ship. And here's the stern. And of course the stern shreds itself apart as it falls down the ocean to the ocean floor. Of course, this rips up. It sort of twirls all the way down. Watch the stern slam into the ocean floor here. Alright, it wasn't that chaotic, but it should be laying down. I wish there was a way to rotate that, be more accurate, but anyways, you can hardly tell what the stern is in real life anyways. Yeah, it's just a crumpled up mess. It doesn't look like that, but it's just as severe as that. It just doesn't look like that. Now, as the bow settles over the years, crow's mast should be collapsed over. So, what's the crow's nest? It fell over as the bow of the ship slammed into the ocean floor, and with nothing but weight supporting the ship itself, just at the expansion joints, it eventually gives way to itself. So it sort of settles at these various expansion joints in the ship. There's one right there. And also there's one close to, yeah, there's one right here, expansion joint. So of course the expansion joints, they all have this weird stuff. It's not metal in between them. So they're the first things to corrode, being that deep underwater. So yeah, there you have it. The shipwreck. A lot deeper than that, of course, but if you go any deeper, you won't be able to see it. That does it for floating sandhawks. And there you go. That will be the end of my Titanic stream for my first time, but it's the 113th anniversary of the sinking of the Titanic. And thank you for watching this live stream, and it's time to move on to my next chapter for the channel, which will not have anything to do with, well, sort of will, but it will have nothing to do with ocean liners. So sorry to disappoint, but I'll give you a hint. I'm already working on it. And, that'll be one of my upcoming long form videos. Now, I'm not telling you what this is going to be, but it's going to be something. But yeah, that's all for now, so see you later.